Hope you're having a great day out here taking my walk. A little hotter than yesterday, so I don't know if I'm gonna stay out here as long as yesterday, but you know, it ain't bad, ain't too bad. Even though it's a little hotter, it's not muggy. It's not muggy. So I might be able to last. I might be able to last today. But like I said, this week talking about religion. Uh, I know that's a topic that's kind of uh, tossed around. Everybody has their opinion about religion. As I see YouTube, as technology and the internet grows, it's going to be more and more views on the Bible. And it's amazing how there's so many different opinions or views on the Bible. You know, not only between different denominations, not only between different religions, but between individual people. You know, you can have a family. One person is Christian and one person is uh, Muslim. A Nation of Islam. You know, it's crazy how religion divides us, and I hate, and that's the cons of religion. I feel is division. You know, even in my even in my family, there's a sort of division because of religion. You know, and that's how life is with the existence of religion. You have a division not only within the world but within families. You know, and that's the thing I I hate about religion is that it's division. You know, but yeah, and even in the Bible it says you know about that about division as far as uh, you know spirituality and beliefs. You know, because even Jesus said, "Would you leave your mother, father, sister, brother, you know, basically your family for the gospel's sake?" And so we see that it's a division as far as religion is concerned. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the Old Testament God versus New Testament God, and how the difference is. I feel like Old Testament God was more wrathful as far as uh, punishing people. It was the Old Testament God was more wrathful, full of wrath, and it's just different. But you know, it just I see the difference between the Old Testament God and the New Testament God. The New Testament God was full of love and peace and salvation. That's why I feel about the New Testament God. And the Old Testament God really got down on people because of their disobedience. So yeah, I see that difference. How you doing? It's Sunny 2189. But yeah, religion, like I said, religion has divided people. Not only not only the world, but like I said, families. It has divided friends. It has divided so many people. But that's what religion is. It was foretold that. But you know, I would love to hear I would love to hear y'all views on it. You know, I would love to hear y'all views on uh, the Old Testament God versus New Testament God, because I feel they're different as far as nature. You know, as their nature. Uh, you know, like I said, the Old Testament God. You think about Sodom and Gomorrah. You think about even the creation story. You know, it's sort of different. So I would love I would love to hear your you know, your view on it, and let me know how you feel about, you know, the Old Testament God and the New Testament God. You know, and a lot of people feel like you know, when Jesus came on the scene, you know, it says that, you know, he didn't come to get rid of the law, but he came to fulfill it. And I think a lot of Christians get that mixed and screwed, you know. But when you go to a church, they said, you know, when you go to a church, they say the laws is done away with. I don't think the Bible said that, you know, and that be my confusion, you know. The Bible says he come to fulfill the law, but they say that the laws is done away with, you know. You know, tell me, it's just kind of contradictory, you know, to me. You know, that's just me with an open mind and thinking about things, thinking about precepts in the Bible, you know, and things we got to think about as far as that, you know, is concerned. But y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, it ain't bad. It ain't too bad out here. Just a little warmer than yesterday. It's not too bad, not too bad. But probably ain't gonna walk too long today because it is a little hotter than yesterday. But just make sure I get my steps in, you know, move my body, you know, so I can really get going with the day. Since I've been out of school, I ain't gonna lie, I've been lazy. But, but you know, being in the school system, you break and really just relax. Grateful, grateful for my job. Grateful for my job. Love that I can get off on the summer and really relax, you know, take vacation or anything, you know. But yeah. See, sometimes it may be it look clear on my. Yeah, that's why I want to talk to y'all